Before we continue with the video, I am excited to announce that this video is brought to you by Heat One Swim Club. At Heat One Swim Club, I sell merchandise, mostly caps and some t-shirts, but we're working on some other products as well as a way to support and ensure that I can continue doing what I am doing. And what I am doing is what you are watching right now. So if you feel compelled, the first 10 people to head over to heat1swimclub.com right now and grab something will get 10% off using code YouTube. If the code YouTube does not work, that means you were too slow. But if it does work, that means you were in the first 10 people that did it. All right, I'll get out of the way. heat1swimclub.com. Thanks for sponsoring this video. You're welcome, Kyle. Back to the video. Ladies and gentlemen, USA Swimming just announced that former Legends Golf CEO Kevin Ring will be the CEO of both the USA Swimming Foundation and USA Swimming. This news comes more than 370 days after USA Swimming's previous full-time CEO, Tim Hinchey, resigned. Now, 370 days is a long time. Pretty much anyone would agree with that, and it's absolutely a long time for an organization the size and influence of USA Swimming to go without a permanent CEO. I would tell you that the community has made it clear that they believe that, and I really don't think anyone, like I said, even people that are very close to the board, would disagree that that is a long time to go without a CEO. But now we've got one, and he comes from outside of swimming. But I think, instead of just me sitting here telling you what I think that he's thinking or anything along those lines, it would make more sense for you to just hear it from the man himself. So we'll just react to his public address, his initial statement as the new CEO of USA Swimming.
Hello, USA Swimming members and community. My name is Kevin Ring, and I'm honored and excited to join the USA Swimming family as President and Chief Executive Officer. This is an organization with an incredible legacy built on the dedication of athletes, coaches, clubs, volunteers, and families across the country. It's a privilege to now serve alongside you. While I may be new to swimming, over the course of my career, I've had the opportunity to work in global sports and membership-driven organizations.
All right, look, USA Swimming is a governing body, and this just feels very political. And once again, I'm not sure why I expected it to be anything else, but we'll get into my thoughts after we finish the video.
I've seen firsthand how a powerful, strong community can be when it comes together behind a shared vision. That's exactly what I want to bring to USA Swimming: clear direction, strong support, and meaningful opportunities for everyone involved in our sport. At the heart of our mission are our athletes, coaches, and clubs. They're the reason we exist. My focus will be on giving them the tools and resources they need to succeed. At the same time, we'll work together to grow our membership so that more young people across the country can experience the lifelong benefits of swimming.
Now, he's saying all the right things. I'm not really sure why I expected it to be anything other than what it's been so far, but it might heat up a little bit, so we're gonna get back to it.
We don't have the luxury of time. The LA 28 Olympic Games are less than 3 years away, and the spotlight on our sport has never been brighter. We must move with urgency, with unity, and with ambition. It's both a challenge and an incredible opportunity to elevate swimming in the United States for our national team athletes, age group swimmers, coaches, and clubs for the road ahead. We need to invest in programs that make swimming more accessible, inclusive, and sustainable for the future. We will create and strengthen partnerships that reflect the values of our sport, and most importantly, we'll grow together as one community, united in our mission to inspire and support swimmers at every level. I can't wait to get started and meet you on the deck. Together, we will honor USA Swimming's legacy and shape a future we can all be proud of. Thank you for welcoming me into this family. I can't wait to dive in.
Okay, way less to say about that opening statement than I would have expected to say, which I think really falls back on me. I'm not sure why we expected him to say anything other than pretty much just that. So my overall thoughts on this hire, the community right now is a little skeptical of a hire from outside of the swimming world. And the reason for that, once again, rightfully so, is because swimming is a very complex sport to understand holistically. It takes time to understand all of the moving parts of swimming, especially when you loop in like the grassroots level and start dealing with LSCs and then like club meet sanctioning, all of that stuff. You don't need to go into it today. You don't need to go into it today, Kyle. Don't go into it today. Maybe another time. It's just very complex. So when you look at the timeline we're up against with college swimming's current predicament and LA 2028 feeling like it's near 12 months away at this point, the listening tour, as people would call it, or a CEO going out into the field of battle and trying to understand what the main pain points are at every level of the organization that they have stepped into. A non-swimming CEO would need to go on one of those to understand those pain points at every level of the sport, and it could take time. And we really don't have that. The main issue with a non-swimming CEO background hire is that, and it's real and it's valid. So now that said, there are some potential positives to having a non-swimming CEO. I say potential very intentionally because we have no idea what Kevin's time at USA Swimming could become. But a potential positive in this whole thing, from my perspective, trying to kind of like bring people back into the fold of rooting for USA Swimming, is that a CEO coming from a space like golf with massive infrastructure, huge impactful events, actual full-scale marketing campaigns to help make golf look fun for the younger generation and appeal to a wide variety of potential members. We don't have that. We don't have that at all. Additionally, golf has a reasonably healthy professional environment, professional ecosystem. The closeness that he has to all of that is the main thing that has me optimistic. In the back of my mind, as someone that is very openly critical of leaders in this sport and their inability to innovate at all, really, at any level, while maintaining all of the power to do so, I'm somewhat for someone coming in and hopefully just calling us out on all of our bullshit. The golf world, they don't just let professional events like pass them by with little to no attendance or viewership. In swimming, we just ignore it and pretend like it's not an issue. Believe it or not, it is. Real sports like golf aren't okay with underperforming events. They talk about viewership. They invest in their events and they innovate them constantly to provide a better fan experience and a better experience for everyone that is involved. They understand that events also make a healthy professional ecosystem, and combined with that, make everyone's lives better. The fans can actually be fans. The pro athletes can actually be pro athletes. The club coaches can better retain their athletes by showing them what's possible if they work hard and wake up at 5 a.m. and jump in a cold pool and all of those drawbacks of swimming, if you will. Generally, it just raises the tide for everything that is possible in this sport and gives our pros the opportunity to just be pros. Right now, they're paid little to nothing. That's real. APA contributions from USA Swimming, aka the money that USA Swimming pays our best of the best to perform and perform often, is laughable. And our events right now are so weak that our pro athletes can't use them to generate any sort of brand presence of their own. And so when you pair APA pay being as low as it is and our events being as underperforming as they are, the athletes are really set up for complete failure. Some of our best athletes are forced into early retirement because we bring little to no value to sponsors with our events and don't set them up to bring in consistent value to brand partners through events and exposure. There are so many positives that could come from us having someone that digs in and really calls us out on the stupid stuff that we do because we're simply too afraid or too unwilling to do them differently. If Kevin, by chance, is watching this, as someone that talks to folks at every level of this sport on a daily basis, we as a sport are ready and willing to change and change quickly. Specifically, we're asking for you to finally get people in the right positions to be able to help create that change at the professional event level. I know for a fact that our fans are desperate for that. I hear it all the time, and I also know that we currently don't have it, and our sport is hurting as a result of not having that. Before we wrap things up, please feel free to go down to the comment section and voice your opinion on any of these topics, or just voice your general upsetness with any specific aspect of swimming. I will be down there answering as many questions or any comments that I can, per usual. Now, last thing, Kevin's salary at USA Swimming, from what I've heard, is massive. It is likely going to make him the highest paid non-athlete in the sport. So with that, in a sport that's struggling financially at quite literally every level, with that comes high expectations of riding the ship and finding a way to create some kind of system that gets money flowing back into this sport and do so very quickly. What I would say to the fans, athletes, coaches, parents, etc. of this sport is be vocal in your expectation of immediate change. Be vocal in who you want to see involved in this new era of USA Swimming, because in this day and age, your voice can absolutely be heard and be heard often and have an impact. From what I'm hearing, I haven't heard from Kevin yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But from what I've heard, he is actively reaching out to the right people to have these conversations about the future of this organization. People he should be reaching out to, he is reaching out to, and people who should be involved, he is actively trying to get involved. He said he was going to be transparent. On top of that, I really hope that he's aggressive, because swimming absolutely could use some aggressiveness from one of our leaders when it comes to creating change. We are so far behind other sports. It is crazy at pretty much every level. I'm ready and willing to get to work, and I promise you, in my first year, if given the opportunity to run our professional events, they would become true events. They would benefit our pro athletes. They would benefit our fans, and they would sell the out. I'm ready to get to work. Always have been, and my phone is on loud.